Hello again, everyone. It's Dwayne. It's the late Sunday edition of One Man's Opinion. Got a lot to talk about, short time to do it. Let's get it on. South Carolina primary this past week. No surprises. Hillary Clinton won 73 to 26% over Colonel Bernie Sanders. Yeah, he got fried. Um, Nearly 9 out of 10 blacks voted for Hillary Clinton. I said that the other day on the show that more than likely the majority of blacks and women would vote for Hillary Clinton. I think I was proven right. Okay, let's talk about the debate the other night between the last five of the Republicans: Ben Carson, John Kasich, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and the front runner, Donald Trump. Ben Carson had one good line that made the debate. Can somebody attack me? Because honestly, they were ignoring him and Kasich both. I think it's very unfair how they did things, but that's CNN. And Ben Carson, bless his heart, is a good man. He needs to drop out because he is not going to be a factor. John Kasich should just join the Democrat Party because he's more left than Hillary Clinton. I've told you that before. Uh, that leaves the top three. We're getting down to a three-man race, and after Super Tuesday, it will probably be a three-man race. Kasich's going to lose Ohio. He's going to lose his home state. Trump is going to beat him handily. Rubio is going to lose Florida, which there should be no surprise there after he lied to get into office. Ted Cruz, they say right now, is in a virtual deadlock with Donald Trump in Texas. I don't believe the polls there, honestly, because 2 days before, Ted Cruz was up 20 some odd points over Donald Trump in Texas. 2 days did not make 20, 22 points difference. But I guess we'll see on Super Tuesday. Now, the big thing as far as the debate was concerned was the tax results. Trying to get the tax information from Donald Trump. Both Rubio and Cruz have now released their tax information. Ted Cruz actually has released his for the past 5 years and had a 2-page summary of the last four. Now, they're wanting Donald Trump to release his tax information. Donald Trump refuses to because of a supposed IRS audit. According to the IRS, he can actually release that information. That's up to him. Now, a tax attorney did say that it probably wasn't a good idea for him to release it while he's being audited because they might find stuff in there that they haven't seen yet. And of course, the media would be the ones who would be digging that up. Now, this past week since the debate, Ted Cruz has come out and said that maybe one of the reasons that Donald Trump is not wanting to release his tax information is the fact that he has mafioso ties with Big Tony Salerno, pardon me. He's the jailed mobster who owns SNA Construction up there, New Jersey, I think. That's a good possibility. I mean, Donald Trump has done business with a lot of people, so that is not out of the realm of possibility there. So the Trump fans saying, well, that's bullshit, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But Ted Cruz did hint at the fact that that could be a possibility. He also hinted at the fact that Trump may be exaggerating his wealth. He may not have as much money as he claims. That's a good possibility. If he's refusing to release his taxes, it may be because of that. Because he said he's worth what, 10 billion? he may not be worth quite $10 billion. Now, he is self funding his campaign. A lot of people like that. The more I think about it, the more I believe he's trying to buy the presidency. Now, as you know, Mitt Romney has come out and said that that Donald Trump should release his tax information. Coming from Mitt Romney, it means absolutely dick. Mitt Romney is a milquetoast waffle. He went through this 4 years ago when they were calling for him to release his taxes, and he kind of waffled on it. But now he's all for Donald Trump releasing his. Mitt Romney, go F yourself. Nobody cares what you think. You're a loser. You had that election won 4 years ago if you had done what you should have done, but you didn't because you're a coward. Go crawl back under the rock you crawled out from under. And don't ever come back out again because honestly, you make me sick. Now, it is 5:09 in the afternoon here Sunday when I'm taping this podcast. As of this time, Donald Trump has failed to condemn an endorsement from David Duke, the ex Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard, Grand Dragon, Grand Blowhard, whatever the hell he was. David Duke is a white supremacist and an utter asshole. And Donald Trump claims that he doesn't know who he is, so he wouldn't condemn it. Now, this was in a CNN interview, and he came off with this bullshit answer. Well, I don't know who it is, so if I don't want to condemn something, I don't know what I'm doing. Donald Trump claims to be the smartest man up there, that he knows it all, that he is the best candidate of anyone. If he doesn't know who David Duke is, and I do, then maybe Donald Trump is not presidential material. You're supposed to know this stuff, Mr. Trump. David Duke is an ex Ku Klux Klansman. It was said that he was an ex Ku Klux Klansman and he endorsed you. And you would not condemn that? Maybe he does have ties to Fat Tony up here in Jersey then. Let's move to Mitch McConnell because I've got to get this out here real quick. According to the New York Times, the Republican Party is beginning to accept the very real possibility that Donald Trump will be their presidential nominee. So Mitch McConnell has laid out a plan that would have lawmakers break with Donald Trump explicitly in a general election. According to the Times, resistance to Trump runs deep, and a desperate behind the scenes mission to save the party from the real estate tycoon has stalled out. As a result, two campaigns have drafted plans to overtake Mr. Trump in a brokered convention. We've talked about a brokered convention as probably a possibility. The newspaper said the effort to unite warring candidates behind one failed big time. An overture from Senator Marco Rubio to Mr. Christie angered and insulted Governor Christie. An unsubtle appeal from Mitt Romney to John Kasich about the party's need to consolidate behind one rival to Trump apparently fell on deaf ears. Kasich, in particular, has drawn the ire of GOP power brokers, having struggled to compete in the first four states as far as voting is concerned. He's just flailing his arms around and having a wonderful time going around the country, and it's driving me up a wall. A senior Republican senator said, according to the Times, they did not say who the senator was. I guess he wanted to be anonymous. Senators, several senators, pardon me, said McConnell was especially vocal about Kasich being irrational. If Trump is the nominee, McConnell allegedly has told Senate colleagues will drop him like a hot rock. And he may treat Trump's loss in general as a given, allowing senators to distance themselves from the candidate and run negative ads against him. Okay, here's where the GOP is going to run negative ads against their nominee. What kind of stupidity are we talking about? We're talking about the end of the GOP as we know it. While still hopeful that Mr. Rubio will prevail, Mitch McConnell has begun preparing senators for the prospect of a Trump nomination, assuring them that if it threatened to harm them in the general election, they would run negative ads about Mr. Trump to create space between him and Republican senators seeking re-election. Mr. McConnell has raised the possibility of treating Mr. Trump's loss as a given and describing a Republican Senate to voters as a necessary check, on a President Hillary Clinton. The GOP is going to go against the nominee unless it's Marco Rubio. This will also be against Ted Cruz if he were to be the nominee. And it tells me at this point that the GOP is dead. And maybe it should die a painful death. Mitch McConnell and the GOP elites need to just go to hell at this point. We need a third party or a fourth party or a fifth party. We need to get the consolidated power between the Democrats and the Republicans away from them. The Democrats are communist, socialist, and fascist. The Republicans are just about that bad now. And anybody who votes because of the party are imbeciles. The parties don't give a damn about you. They never have. All you are is cannon fodder to them. Get it through your heads. The parties think you're stupid. That's why they have super delegates. Because even if Donald Trump or Ted Cruz wins the election with the popular vote, they can still screw them over with the super delegates and make Ted Cruz and Donald Trump go away. They will make sure that Marco Rubio will be their nominee that way. Now, everybody saw probably this past week that I endorsed officially Ted Cruz for president. Considering the flip flops, the lies, the outright lies that Donald Trump has told, and you can Google all the contradictions that he has said that he didn't say about Libya, but yeah, he a few years back did say about Libya. I've posted it. You can go on my page and see it. Donald Trump is a Janus face liar. If he is the nominee, I will hold my nose and I will vote for him, but I would much prefer to have Ted Cruz as the president. I think Ted Cruz would be good for this country, just like Ronald Reagan was. At least Ted Cruz understands the Constitution. I don't think anybody else in the Republican Party right now truly does. People will say, well, nobody likes him in the Senate. Well, yeah, there's 2 or 3 that actually like him, that side with him. He's not there to win a popularity contest. He's there to do a job, and that is to protect the Constitution and to do what the Constitution says is right. That's more than I can say for Donald Trump or anybody else right now. My time's up. I thank you for yours. We'll see you again on Wednesday. Until then, later.